When the call came in that night, Daniel didn't think much of it. Just another routine dispatch, another report to file before heading home. The station lights flickered faintly. The smell of old coffee hung in the air, and outside, the rain drummed on the asphalt like a slow, steady heartbeat. He'd been through worse nights, broken cases, angry suspects, sleepless shifts, but something about this one felt different. It wasn't just the weather. It was the silence that came with the call. The way every officer in the room stopped talking when the dispatcher said the name Daniel hadn't heard in years. He froze. His hands tightened around the radio, pulse quickening. They wanted him on site now. A suspect barricaded in a downtown warehouse, police already surrounding the perimeter. The words, armed and dangerous, echoed through his mind like thunder dot as he drove through the city. The rain blurred the streetlights into golden streaks. Every red light he crossed, every corner he turned, felt heavier. Not because of duty, but because of memory. He knew who he was going to find there. When Daniel pulled up to the scene, the chaos was already unfolding. SWAT teams crouched behind vehicles, orders shouted over the rain. The captain turned to him, relief and exhaustion mixing in his eyes. "Thank God you're here, Daniel. He's asking for you." Daniel's breath caught. The captain nodded. "Yeah, he said he won't talk to anyone else." Inside that warehouse, somewhere beyond the still doors and flickering lights, was the ghost of Daniel's past, a man he'd once called brother. They'd started together, two young cops with dreams of justice, promises to clean up the streets, to make a difference. But somewhere along the way, the lines had blurred. One of them kept walking the right path. The other found power in darkness. Daniel adjusted his vest, checked his weapon, and stepped inside. The warehouse was silent except for the hum of broken lights. Shadows stretched across the floor, and the smell of oil and rain mixed with something heavier, the scent of betrayal. A voice echoed through the empty space. "You came." Daniel froze. It was him, Marcus. His former partner. The man stepped out of the shadows, holding his gun low, eyes filled with regret and rage. "You should have left me alone, brother." Daniel's voice was calm, almost breaking. "You gave me no choice." They circled each other like ghosts of what used to be, two sides of the same coin, destined to collide. Marcus sneered. "You think you're the hero here? You think this badge makes you clean? You turned your back on me when I needed you most." Daniel lowered his weapon slightly. "You chose this path, Marcus. You made your choices." Marcus's hand trembled. "No, Daniel. You did." For a moment, neither spoke. The rain outside grew louder, hammering the tin roof like gunfire. Then, without warning, Marcus raised his weapon, but Daniel was faster. A single shot rang out. The silence that followed was deafening. Marcus fell back, clutching his side, the light fading from his eyes. Daniel rushed forward, catching him before he hit the ground. Marcus coughed, his voice faint. "Guess this is where our story ends, huh?" Daniel shook his head. "No, it ended a long time ago." The warehouse lights flickered again, and for a brief moment, Daniel saw them as they once were, two rookies laughing after their first arrest, full of hope and fire. Then the vision vanished, leaving only the sound of rain and the weight of regret. Outside, officers moved in, weapons raised, but Daniel didn't speak. He just stared at the ground where his brother had fallen. By dawn, the news had already spread. Corrupt ex-detective shot dead in standoff. The headlines were clean, factual, no mention of the years of friendship, the choices that led to this night. The silent war between loyalty and justice. Daniel sat in his car, staring at the rising sun. The city around him woke up, oblivious to the ghosts it had created. He turned the radio off, leaned back, and let the silence speak, because in that silence, He heard Marcus's last words again, not the bitter ones, but the ones from years ago. Before everything fell apart, promise me, brother, no matter what happens, you'll stay on the right side. Daniel whispered, I'm trying. And as the rain finally stopped, he drove away, not as a hero, not as a savior, but as a man carrying the weight of every choice he'd ever made. A man who understood that justice wasn't clean and redemption wasn't free,